We're going to call this hearing to order. Let the record show that Supervisors Schifani, Fisher, Cassiola, and Barney are in attendance. Also, Engineer Dan Dazroth, Solicitor Gretchen Moore, Manager Don Januso, and to use all our usual names, and Jack King. You ready? You got all our names. All right. Can we have a swearing in for anybody who wishes to give testimony tonight? Is there anybody from the applicant here? No, for the liquor license.
Oh, that's 6:45, Tom.
Oh,
Yeah, we started with the
I'm sorry.
rezoning and the text
where's,
change.
I don't even have a copy of that one.
The other side.
Oh,
Yeah, rezoning and then
okay,
zoning text
sorry.
change.
You're right, it is for the Morganza Road. So anybody wants to be sworn in to give testimony on that issue, please raise your hand. Just do it.
If you want to say anything, a word, stand up and sworn in. If you choose not to, then you don't, but
Okay, it can't hurt. Would you swear me, please?
you just stay there.
Stay at your seat. Yeah, you're fine.
I hate doing this, swearing for the opinion. Thank you. So this hearing it's an ordinance of Township of Cecil, Washington County, Pennsylvania, pertaining to certain properties along Morganza Road in the R1 Low Density Residential Zoning District. Tax parcels number 140-012-05-0022. Can you can read, see all those right down there? I'll mention the last, I think they're all the same. The last 6 digits, 0021, 00, 0020, 0019, 00, 001901, and 001902, and 0079-03. From R1 low density residential to the MUC, the mixed use commercial, providing for severability and establishing an effective date. It will read as an ordinance of the Township of Cecil, Washington County, Pennsylvania, amending the following sections of the Cecil Township zoning ordinance as amended in section 240-39.1 and appendix E to provide relevant definitions for short-term rental use, to add short-term rental uses as a permitted use in the mixed-use commercial district, and to accommodate for short-term rental uses in the official schedule of uses, providing for severability and establishing an effective date. So I think probably before the board members want to make any comments, I'd like, if you want to make some comments about it. We don't have an applicant here on the request. The intent of the ordinance came about because of our long-range planning committee and long-range planning and steering committee. A recommendation was to try to find new additional commercial and industrial areas to fortify our tax base. You know, South Point is basically done, it's taxed out, and if we don't supplement our tax base, then taxes are not able to be kept low like they've been. But anyway, we find out we have a hard time finding industrial uses, and we have a hard time finding serious commercial uses like in a C1 zone. So this mixed use commercial, it has a list of all many mild commercial uses and service commercial uses and neighborhood commercial uses. So you won't find any serious things in there like gas stations and body shops and more serious commercial uses. So that was a purpose. It's also hard to find areas that wouldn't create a spot zone. In other words, we can't just go in the middle of a certain area and pick a spot and say, let's make that a mixed-use commercial zone. So it normally is easier to start, find a commercial zone and extend that one into the mixed-use commercial. So as you're aware, that area down by where the old Southwest Truck Parts exists. That's all commercial down there on both sides of the road, all the way up Cecil Hendersonville Road to that body shop right next to McPherson's farm. So this is just an extension of where Southwest Truck Parts C1 zone is to another natural stopping point, which is Baker Road. So that's the other thing we have to look for when we create zones. That says zoning should stop at some, or end and have a border at some natural barrier, like a river, a stream, or a railroad bed, or a road, or something like that. So that's a natural stopping point to go to Baker Road. So, I mean, that's the extent of it. We're looking for some mild commercial, and if you want to make any comments about it, please feel free. Since you're the first one that raised your hand, give us your name again for the record. Yes. No, come up to the microphone so everybody can hear.
Hi, I'm Matt Endy. Endy, E-N-D-Y. I'm a resident at 2010 South Morganza Road. Just question, what the heck's going on? I don't know this stuff, so mixed use stuff. If there's a reasoning behind it or what, which you explained. Just curious on taxes increase. Family of four, resident, my neighbor on my right side, 60-something-year-old family. Woods owned by Frank, 80-year-old man, retired, fixed income. I talked to him today. He couldn't make it today. Just curious on tax increase. I mean, what's this going to do on our annual tax?
When the township changes zoning to another district like this mixed use, it doesn't affect existing taxes. They won't come out and say, well, your house is worth more now because your property was changed to some form of commercial. I mean, if you go and develop your property more as a commercial use, then they would come out and reassess your property. But if you just maintain your house as a resident, which you're entitled to do.
When they reassess, it will come up mixed use, which would be a higher value, right?
Not if it's residentially occupied.
Okay.
I mean, they would look at that. If you're still just a single-family home, your taxes would go up only based on what the county decides to raise the assessments overall.
Okay, so just because your property value, so is my 2 acres worth more being zoned mixed use?
Do you want it to be worth more?
Well, no, I don't. That's the thing. Because tax is a percent. So if I'm sitting at $200,000 house, and next year, 2 years from now, when they recess, they say it's a $375,000 house. Now it's
But if it's still a residential home and they raise assessments for residential homes, yours could go up. But it won't have anything to do with your zoning that you're a mixed-use commercial. It's basically the value of your house. But the other thing too with mixed-use commercial, you don't have to deal with the county or the township or the school district if you decide to market your property. You would say in your own ads, hey, it's a potential to be commercial, and that could up the value that you could ask for it, but it has nothing to do with the school district, the township, or the county on what you negotiate for to sell your property.
Yeah.
So it could be an advantage. We've had people that come to us to ask us to change their property to commercial just in the event that they decided to sell or they move out, they feel they can get more for it, but it has nothing to do with assessments. It's just the marketability.
at least 2 of the 4 residents I know are against this. Third one, I'm not sure. Like I said, the old man Frank, he actually doesn't live at that property. It's just an open wood lot that he uses for cutting wood. So I talked to him today, and that's all. But this is all new to me, so I don't know zoning stuff, and
Well, if that's your main question
when
about
the pink sign
values.
came in the yard, it was like, what the heck's going on?
Can I ask what, like you say you're opposed to it, can I ask why?
Just keep it residential. I mean, we got residential property connecting to agricultural property. You throw that mixed use in, then now you have agricultural property touching mixed use that could turn into commercial.
Right.
But wait, we
There
don't
goes
have
our
any agricultural zoning for property. If it's an agricultural use, it's going to be considered R1, so it's residential. There's no agricultural zone in Cecil Township. There is no agricultural zone in Cecil Township. All
But I think
farms.
he's saying the use of the property is agricultural.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what Frank's property is actually zoned at. It's 17 acres. I think it actually says agriculture on the Washington County parcel viewer, like how it describes what it is. word agricultural's in there.
Yeah, that's not
I
assessment.
wasn't asking that as a trick question. I genuinely wanted to know why
Yeah.
you were opposed to it and to get it on the record.
Well, just-
I think it makes sense.
You don't
what
like
you're
change,
saying.
you know, I mean, we've
Is that
been
just
there.
based on a tax basis? Is that what you're looking at? You know, is that the real question
That's, I
behind
think,
it? You know, you just don't want your taxes to go up because of it?
tax, and we want houses. We don't want the chance of anything, you know, popping up.
So you want to live in a residential zone. You don't want the potential of a business or a commercial use next to your residential home.
Yeah, if this is what this possibly means, I don't know.
Yes, it is. So in a mixed-use commercial zone, you could have commercial uses and residential uses in the same area. That's the purpose of a mixed use. In a straight residential zone, like it is zoned now, it is only residential homes. So what you're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, is that you want it to stay residential because you want your home to be surrounded by residential homes, not
Yes,
commercial
and-
businesses.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And property value, price to sell, I don't know. We have no future of selling. I mean,
Right.
so as me in my little spot, it's, you know, and then if, my question is, another thing too is, like, I guess, Cassie will explain it, about the whole border. You know, you start from here, you have to have an ending border. I was curious on, like, say there was a property that was residential, they wanted to do something, why can't they just change their property?
It's
Why does
called,
the other one have
it's
to?
called spot zoning, so you have to be careful. You can't just rezone one property. You can't have one commercial property zoned surrounded by other residential zones. So that's why we have to have areas or pockets of, that are, some are residential and some are commercial. And that's kind of the purpose behind the mixed use commercial. I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I just trying to explain it to you, but I do hear what you're saying and that you want your residential home to remain residential.
I just want to ask, did you see the list of permitted uses under commercial? Jack, Jack, would it be possible to have the list up there on the screen? Of the permitted uses in MUC. I mean, is it readily available?
I mean, like, could you put a townhome there or something?
I have a question for you.
Yes,
How much property do you have there?
a shy of 2 acres. Like one
Shy
point.
of 2 acres. And the fellow that you said is next to you has 17 acres?
2 properties away.
2 properties away, he has
I
17
think he was
acres.
sitting at 20, then the toll road came through and he knocked it down to 16 or 17.
Previously, was he a farmer, or did he farm it at all, or whatever?
It was just an open set of woods
It's just open land, not clean and green or anything?
on his. But like I said, on the Washington County parcel view, if you look it up, the word agricultural is sitting there. That's why I thought maybe I don't know the zoning terms.
A lot of the farms are not listed as agricultural, but they are listed as clean and green.
Yeah.
So naturally, that makes a difference in your tax revenue. All right, you know, your tax base, it's down here.
I should have that listed.
Which the falling property of that is, but that's.
Thank
Do
you.
we have a planned use for this property, or it's just rezoning per the comprehensive plan?
We had one applicant that, I don't know if he actually applied, but he's interested in showing a bed and breakfast or Airbnb on his property.
Is that the
But would an
house that they have, that colonial?
Yes, on
The
that
old
corner of
colonial
Baker
home.
Road.
Gretchen, would an Airbnb fall under a mixed-use commercial?
Well,
Not yet.
so
Not-
if you all pass
Can you talk
this
into your
short-term. So there are 2 ordinances you all are considering tonight, and the second is this short-term rental ordinance, which if you read the definition, it is a dwelling unit where for compensation, temporary lodging is provided for transient guests for not more than 30 consecutive days and where meals are not provided. So think like Airbnb minus the B. So this then, if you all decide to pass this, would allow for short-term rentals in the mixed-use commercial district.
And
Be
that's
added to
it?
the list, yeah.
And that's the only place it would be allowed as mixed-use commercial?
Currently as drafted, of course, you all can amend this any way you want, but that's how it's drafted.
Well, I don't think we would want it in residential zones, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes, so we're gonna see if Jack can bring up that.
No, that has it, MUC, it shows the permitted,
Yeah, there you go.
it shows in the chart.
Yep.
So if you go down there at the far right column, that's what's all permitted.
What, under MUC?
Can you read,
Everything underneath the MUC.
Dan, can you read that out so everybody might not be able to read that?
Sure. Let's see, permitted in the MUC is farm, single-family dwelling, two-family dwelling, multifamily dwelling, townhouse and a garden apartment. And then we move down to apartment hotel. And we have community residential home. That's a conditional use. Assisted living facility is a permitted use. Court adjudicated home is a conditional use. Daycare home is conditional use. Then we have business and professional offices permitted. Financial institution, which I guess would be a bank. A library is permitted. Nursing home is permitted. I'm sorry, missed the hospital. Hospital, nursing home, post office, veterinary clinic. We have daycare center, public building, community center, club, lodge, fraternal organization, conditional use for a church, house of worship, permitted bakery, bicycle shop, Booker stationery store, business services, apparel and clothing accessories. And then we jump down to a catering service, convenience store, candy or ice cream shop, my favorite, card and gift shop, coin-operated craft or hobby shop, eating establishment, florist, excluding greenhouse, food store, including supermarket, food store especially excluding supermarket, funeral home, furniture, home furnishings. We have general retail merchandise, and then more conditional use, a greenhouse, kennel is a conditional use, newsstand, personal services, pharmacy.
Yes.
Self-storage facility is permitted, sporting goods, tavern is a conditional use.
Dan, are we sure that this is the same as the ordinance we passed?
Jack pulled it up from,
This chart was created, but I think it's not
I don't think,
matching
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
it's,
sorry, that's what's in E code.
We should pull the original ordinance. Was that a 23 or 24 ordinance?
I believe it was 24.
24.
I don't think this is right.
Yeah, veterinary clinics, none of those were, there was all home service, commercial and convenience
Hold
commercials.
on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
We have time, Jack, see if you could just pull up the original ordinance, or Dan.
Let me see if I can find it too, Jack.
Those are some really heavy uses.
Furniture places.
Yeah.
I know there's not that many. It's reading too long.
Maybe on your website for under ordinances that were passed last year, because it
Here, I
won't be, it
think
won't
I-
be an E code.
I think I found it. Hold on.
It's 2025.
If it will load.
You have an ordinance tab.
It won't let me download them. That's weird.
No, those are just the popular ordinances.
I think I have it in my email. I just can't get it to open.
I might too, but I'd have to go into my.
Yeah.
Just see if you can find the date.
It was. I don't know why I can't open it from my email.
It's under zoning 240.
It would be under zoning, it's
240.
section 24038, under zoning, if you just want to, like,
The one you were just
go to,
all the way at the bottom.
4038?
yeah.
No, go a little further down,
Yeah, that's what it said.
Mixed-use districts, right there, 240, 39.1. Those are just definitions. Go to the MUC, it's the second part.
There you go.
There, right there.
Okay, uses by right.
Dan, would you read those off so everybody can hear them?
Sure.
Section C, here's what's allowed, it will be allowed in that.
Commercial mixed-use district, the uses by right farms, single-family residential development and a planned residential development only, single-family dwelling, two-family dwelling, multifamily dwelling, townhouse dwelling, garden apartment dwellings, condominium dwellings, or a mixture thereof, as part of a comprehensive residential development only, provided the planned residential development includes residential uses other than single-family, then it must be located within 2,000 feet of the access point to a major highway.
Then down to D though, Dan, that's where the list starts.
Oh, okay, so D, we start with art, music, photographic studio, assisted living facility, bakery, bicycle shop, bookstore, stationery store, card and gift shop, candy or ice cream shop, catering service, convenience store, craft or hobby shop, daycare center, dry cleaning store, financial institution, florist, excluding greenhouses, newsstand, nursing, convalescent or rest home, personal services, business and professional offices, self-storage facility, specialty food store, community center, private or public, club, lodge, or fraternal organization, essential services, apparel and clothing accessory store, general
Dan,
retail.
that's good. We're good. We have to amend that. We wanted to pull things out of the C3, C3 convenience businesses and the R3 service businesses. That's where we were looking for. I'm not quite sure how it got in there. I apologize for that.
This is available to research, look it up, it's fine.
Yep.
It's on our website.
Yeah, I mean, my was just the shop. I want to know exactly what's going on, if there was planning of stuff, or and then you decide about you're looking for opportunity to to expand your whatever.
I can assure you, we're not going to do anything with this tonight.
Right. Yeah. So what is the next date of? What's the next step after this session?
We have to come up with the list that actually we all intended to have on that for permitted uses. And it's just not right now.
This is just an informational thing. We talking, when could this go down if it's decided to change?
It's probably going to be a couple months again.
Months?
I'm just talking about to consider another amendment.
But you don't mean the actual change to the ordinance, you mean the actual changing of the zoning and building of whatever, the Airbnb.
Yeah, say if this goes through, what are we talking? We talking a year from now, or like when would the zoning change?
Immediate, well, so if we make the
Months?
changes and then we take a public vote, the zoning would change immediately
At a zoning meeting?
at a board meeting.
At board, okay.
Yeah, but we'll make sure you get a copy too to see what our real list or intended list was. I just don't know what happened. I apologize.
Yeah, this is not ready to go tonight.
Then the times are all screwed up too. Like the pink paper in a yard said 6:30. Obviously, we started at 6. So there might be some people who didn't
Yep.
see this. The signs were put on a rainy day. Within 10 hours, they're on the ground, blowing underneath the bushes. So the pink signs along Busy Road didn't survive 10 hours. So
We got it. Yeah, don't even worry about it now.
yeah, but it just, a lot of people might
We got to
not
start
know.
over. That's
Alright.
that's my fault.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you, guys.
I'd say there's no use having any other testimony because we're not going to act on this at all. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, all right, let us get our new list first. We apologize for this. It was completely,
There would be
Yeah.
no we want to hear what you have to say. We just don't want to waste your time when this is going to change anyways. We understand your opposition to it. We have to make some serious changes, and then we'll re-advertise, and then would be the time for you to come and state your opinions to get them on the record at the time the ordinance is going to change. Nothing's going to change
Yeah,
tonight.
wait till you see the list that you have comments on an actual list. I mean, there's not going to
Yeah.
be veterinary clinics and banks and
Yeah.
shopping centers.
And how are you going to re-advertise? Because I will tell you, my property is adjacent to the old farmhouse. And I heard about it from the people who bought it. And then I emailed Tom and I got some information. But then the pink sign said 6:30. So how are you gonna advertise this? Because whatever you did for this meeting is not adequate. So how are you gonna do it so that we are informed next time and can give you our researched feedback?
We want to hear what you have to say. Please don't think that we don't want to hear it. We just don't want to waste your time when we're not making any actions tonight, and your research may be based on information that's likely to change.
And we will send a letter to every property impacted also.
Make sure you give
You can
us,
actually get a letter.
make sure you email us your information, and we will make sure that whoever was here
Oh, we have
tonight
it.
is
We
notified.
have all their addresses and information.
But are we sure?
Yeah,
Just leave it just in case, for me. So,
I will certainly, but I would think you would have all of our addresses like on tax records and
Well-
stuff, you know?
Address, not email address. That's.
Oh, email address.
we need your email
I gotcha.
addresses.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't?
we have your property addresses.
We will certainly, I will take that action and get all
That's
the
what I-
email addresses.
But we will
of
get
the
a letter out
property.
also
Thank you.
with a regular
Thank you.
mailing address. So I apologize for this. So we're just going to close this hearing because there's no sense in going forward with it. So at this time, I'm going to declare this hearing closed and we will readdress it properly. I apologize again.